semi-first episode of Point of View. We had Shamon Dae as our guest. He talked about his brand new album, some works that he has upcoming, which includes a book, which sounded absolutely amazing. We did get a little bit into some kind of current events going on, a little bit of mental health and kind of, pushing yourself to kind of get some projects and things done. I have known him for about 15 years, and interview honestly didn't disappoint. A little bit of technical difficulties because apparently my mic did not work for Zoom, which is the recording format I chose to use, but did have Audacity running in the background, so that has been saved. So if there is a little bit of, let's say, juxtaposition going on in the YouTube iteration of the podcast, that would be why. But the audio should be really good if you're listening to this on, Podbean or iTunes or anything else, which I'll hopefully export. Just obviously more content will be coming through. This being the first episode, I'm just kind of still figuring and piecing things out. But it helped having just a tremendous guest who I cannot say enough positive things about, just in terms of as a person, in terms of an artist, in terms of as a creative force. There was a lot of things that we discussed that I think you'll enjoy. So without any more delay, definitely take a listen and, let me know your thoughts on my point of view. So I know you as Los, but that's not the persona right now. That's not the stage name right now.
Right.
Tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Shamon Dae, and I'm a hip hop artist. I'm a rapper, songwriter, and do a little bit of video production as well. So I just call myself a creator on all aspects. So that's really what I do. And just recently released an album called Brand New Day, and that's what I've been promoting lately. And got some other things that I have in the works too. But that's pretty much sums me up in a bubble right there.
It's a good bubble, and it's honestly and it's a good album too, because I was fortunately one of the people that you let hear it before it came out for whatever minimal feedback I could give back. But
you gave some good feedback, so it was like I had in mind a few key people of just I need a reality. It was like when I ushered it out to people, I thought of people that would give me an honest opinion, and that's really what I was going for. The people that I gave it out to and the feedback that I got before I released it, it helped me in how I released it and which tracks to kind of push out there afterwards. So it was a great help on everything. So I appreciate it.
I appreciate you letting me hear it. I have no qualms about embarrassing myself, but I wanted to share. So we know each other somewhere about 15 years, and one of the first, I really wanted to, be some kind of agent or promoter or anything in the world, and we know each other from Dayton, Ohio. And I was going to Wright State University at the time.
Yes.
And one of I don't know if it was your first, I'd say, mass-produced album or one of.
Yeah.
But I rented tables from Wright State University to just blare that album in their quad and just moved. I know 5s of 10s of albums I sold out there for you.
But it all helped. It was crazy because on that album, I put my real phone number on it.
Yeah.
Like in the intro. So I was getting phone calls from the randomest people. But it was cool because it worked. It helped me sell. Like, we weren't selling a lot at the time. It was just me and V just trying to do what we could. But I was getting so many random phone calls, emails, all of that. So it just helped. It helped the buzz, especially in the city. Was able to do a few shows right out there by Wright State. So it did. It helped out a lot. Even though I know you said you didn't think it helped when you came in the next day and we talked about it, but it definitely did. It definitely did.
I'm glad, and definitely thank you for that's my first taste of anything entertainment related.
Hey,
I
you
was
did
trying to
your thing.
hustle.
Yeah, you surprised me when you was telling me what you was doing, and I'm like, okay, let's see how this works out. And once you told me that, I was like, Jeremy, he has a mind of his own, and he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna do it. And man, when like I said, once I got those replies, I'm like, I don't know what all he did, but it definitely worked, man. So yeah, again, I appreciate that.
No appreciation necessary, man. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I got some weird looks. I was asked if that's me on the tracks, and I was like,
Yeah. I remember
no.
that.
I can play the kazoo. That's about as musical as I'm gonna go.
It's all good.
Um, but when we introed you, you talked about your new album, Brand New Day, and I have my faves off the track. I liked Winner. I liked Show Me, 50 After 50. But talk about the new album in terms of I mentioned a little bit. It's different than what I've heard you've done in the past. So kind of where you've gone from that sort of early work to this album now, and kind of the preparation and everything that kind of went into it for you.
Yeah, with a lot of my old music, it was coming from a place of a new artist. So I didn't really know what it took to really release music. Me and V, we were just releasing a lot of stuff. And for anybody confused about when I'm saying V, it's my producer, friend, VTZ. So he helped craft that whole sound for my first couple projects. And from those first few projects, I think I was still trying to find myself as an artist, so there was a lot of angry crunk music that was a part of that, because at the time, that's what was the norm.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find myself as an artist, but fit in as well, so I wouldn't just be the eyeball trying to create music. But with doing that, over time, I was able to find my own voice and find music that really fit where I was at presently. And when my mom passed away, because she passed away of cancer, that's what made me finish this album, because I had been working on it for a while, back and forth. Certain things were coming out, but I started doing once she got sick, I started doing a lot of songwriting. So I stepped away. I put my stuff on the back burner. I wanted to help a lot of artists out, just for the simple fact that I saw things differently and tried to help out in some missteps. That way they wouldn't go through some of the things that I had gone through. So with doing that, when she passed, I went into a depression. There's no other way to say it. I didn't want to do music anymore, but I kept hearing her voice because she was very adamant about me finishing this project. So I worked with producers Dre Manuel, Sonny Lexington. That was the bulk of the album, and also Peanut as well. And they helped pretty much craft this album, because I wanted to come from a place of growth. Originally, the album was going to be called Natural Progression, because I wanted to just show where I was at currently as opposed to before. But Brand New Day meant a new chapter. My mother was gone. I had changed my stage name, and everything needed to be a rebirth, a reintroduction to people that, to some, they haven't heard of me in a while.
Right.
So this is a brand new situation for me. So I feel like a new artist again. I don't have to worry about trying to go to the label meetings and things like that, trying to meet with label executives or anything. Everything's independent now. So I can do everything on my own and meet up with my team, and we can create something that sounds like me, that's original to me, that I'm not trying to force, So that's why now I feel like I'm in a better space, because even though the music from before was me, at times it felt forced, because I was trying to become an artist that looked like what was on TV and things like that.
It was your idea of an artist versus you actually being the artist.
I wasn't an artist yet. I was trying to find those baby steps of what it looked like, and now I know, one, who I am, what my music stands for, and I feel because of that, it fleshed the project out a lot better, and people hear me. They don't hear a persona, somebody trying to sound like this artist or anything. It's like I have my own voice, I have my own music that sounds like me, and that's the feedback that I've been getting back that means the most to me, because that was my intention, and for people to get that, that's for me, that's great.
And I think that's, I mean, honestly, kind of what I, hear too. It's surprising, just how stark the contrast is from, the early music I remember you doing to right now. Maybe I didn't say it as eloquently or as well, but, it's more layered. I think that's the easiest way to say it. There's more layers to it. And I think anybody, no, you're good, man. I think anybody listening to your new album, there's a lot of different, there's a lot of great music on it, but there's, I think, different things anybody could find that they enjoy. There were some tracks that I thought lent itself to more of a hip hop style, and then more, I would say, lean towards R&B. A couple things that, just struck me as some really, really just, you would hear as a single on the radio getting pushed. There's a lot of varied music on there, and just how you wrote and how you come across is a lot more, for lack of a better phrase, a lot more genuine as well. And now that you're, saying it the way you are, that makes perfect sense. It makes all the sense in the world. So I really enjoyed it. And
thanks, man. I appreciate it. I really do. It was like, I was very apprehensive about releasing this, and it was nobody else's fault. It was just my own insecurities with the music, because, like I said, it's been a while since I released something, and I didn't know if people would gravitate toward it at all. I put a lot more melodies in this music than I've ever had in a lot of mine before. I had a lot of featured artists that were singing on this, and I didn't know how that would be for my fan base, because I know they knew me for doing a lot of my own hooks, a lot of energetic type of hooks, but I wanted to separate that just to add more stuff to it musically. And I think with me teaming up with people that I did on this, that really did help. It just helped flesh everything out. It let me do my end of it, but also embrace what they brought to the table too. Like, they did some amazing work that if they weren't on it, it wouldn't be the same songs. So I really just had to tip my hat off and just be like, I really appreciate this project, because it just, everything I was trying to get out, it felt like it did it. I didn't feel like I was reaching for anything. It naturally flowed. That's what it felt like to me when I was doing it. So, yeah, man.
That's awesome. And obviously it got to be a great outlet for you just as yourself as an artist. And then obviously, it sounds like it was extremely therapeutic with you kind of getting off a lot of things off your chest, getting this off your plate.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Can help you, to I think anything that happens next, man. Are you already kind of working on your next stuff, or how's things looking for you?
The weird thing is, I was in the middle of 3 projects when I wanted to release this, because I had so much music that me and a few different producers were doing, but it felt like I kept hitting a roadblock because I was hitting writing stumps. But it was just for the simple fact I needed to release this music, because I had been sitting on a few of it for a while. So now I have new music currently that will follow this up, and I'm working on different projects as well, because I'm big into musicians and entrepreneurs and spirituality and affirmations. So what I did while I was finishing this project, I teamed up with affirmations specialist, and we came up with a process for a book. So that's what we're going to be releasing next. So it'll be a series of books for musicians and just content creators as well, because this space gets so cluttered sometimes, and it's filled with self-doubt, is filled with a lot of things that can burden you and bring negativity towards you, and also negative people. So we have to change that ourselves when we wake up. So that's why I wanted to bring this book to the forefront. So I needed to get the music out the way first so I could do that. But that's my next mission, is to continue, of course, releasing music, but also go into this other lane as well. Because doing my research with it, there's a lot of just people in general that they need this throughout their day. So I just wanted to be able to help in any way. That's part of me, is I just like helping other people. I like helping artists, other content creators that I know, and just finding some way if I can help. I never have to be at the forefront of anybody else's stuff. If I can just lend a hand and it works out, I'm cool with that. And then I can, move on or do whatever I need to do. But that's just what I feel like doing now. So
I literally can attest that anybody trying to create content or anything that you will help out. Hence why we're here.
Yeah,
but that book sounds, fantastic. It's easier to create when you're in a positive kind of mind space, and
exactly.
like you said, just so much negativity, and there's a lot of it going around in the world right now.
Yeah, definitely.
So anything to kind of put you in a better mental space, helps your outlook, helps your day to day, and that obviously translates into being able to help create and help get your mind right, so you can put things out and can be a positive force out there.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is right there. You said it.
But I appreciate you. You've always, as long as I've known you, been out looking out for other people. There was anybody you could include on your music that you did. Obviously, like we were, talked about towards the beginning, letting me do whatever I wanted to do to try and help you out. So you've that's true and that's genuine. A lot of people can just say something, but I know firsthand that that's 100, man. That's true. That's 100% true. So, you talked about kind of where things were. You talked about this new project. You talked about, where you're going. Is there anything that, we haven't touched on that, you wanted to get out there? We've got some heavy stuff out there too, talk a little bit of mental health on the podcast too, man.
Hey, man, I feel like that's a big thing, is like with, as you said, is like there's so many things going on right now. Is like, that's why on the album, I hesitated to put out the track called Freedom. It was like, I wrote that so long ago, and I honestly, when I wrote it, it wasn't that I hated writing a song. It was just like, why do I still have to write this song? Because of back then when it happened, I think I wrote that around the time that Trayvon died, Trayvon Martin. And we just like, damn, I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of writing this music. But as musicians, what I've really come to learn is that we are documentaries, people that document things from the street. And that's what happened with that. And I was just a little upset that I had to release that on this project, but it's so relevant as to what's going on now. So with that being said, it's just like, that's where my mindset is right now. It's like,
how can it not be right now,
Yeah, I know.
it's sad.
It sucks. It sucks that artists have to keep writing the same story. And it's like, to us, it gets redundant, because it's like, I said this already, but it's like you're talking to a brick wall sometimes. So it's like we keep having to make the same type of song. But I think that's one other reason that I had to go into the positive space, because with writing a song like that, and of course I'm not the first person that's written a song like that, but it takes you to a dark place. So I needed something to help me get out of that. And that's where the affirmations and the books and everything like that. But as to what else is going on, that's pretty much the main meat of everything. The other thing that I've been doing as well is I do like music reviews for other artists and things like that, because I just love music, man. So it's like there's no genre or anything. It can be hip-hop, country, R&B, pop. It's like, it doesn't matter. I love hearing new music from artists that aren't mainstream at all. They're just getting their feet wet and like giving tips if I can help in any way. So that's what my YouTube channel is based around. It's just trying to help artists with, music industry tips. Like I said, the affirmations, all type of just little things that might be able to help a person that might be 15 just getting in this and be like, hey, don't do that, do this. This might work out a little bit better for you to avoid, one or two traps or something like that. But overall, that's pretty much everything that it's been leading to. But it's been a process, though, man. It's been a journey, but it's been a cool one because I wouldn't second guess anything that I've been through before because it got me here, and I know what to do next on what I want to do and to get my fans. So, man, it's been a cool ride, man.
You definitely have a lot of good things mapped out, and it's impressive because you have 100 different things on your plate. Obviously, we'll link out the new album. We'll link out your YouTube channel. Not to put you on the spot because I know you work with a lot of great artists and a lot of people come to you for advice. Is there a handful of artists, just a couple artists that, if people aren't aware of them or people are looking to listen to something new, any favorites that you would toss out?
Yeah, there's definitely. I'll just stick to like the city of Dayton alone. There's an artist by the name of Yellow Pain. He's dope. He has a lot of story like content, and he shoots amazing videos too. So if you are watching that, it's just like he tells a story on every track, and it's just amazing to hear. Yellow hair and everything. So he's very in your face. It's very dynamic. So that's one that I can say. A female artist from the city as well by the name of Mar Monroe. Mm-hmm. She does a lot of snippets and, things for her fans. But it's garnered a lot of fans, great music. And my brother, K. Carter, he always releases very powerful content as well. So if nobody has heard of those three, I would definitely say, check them out on your Spotify, get them on YouTube, check them out. But there's a lot of talent within this region, and that's why I love getting that music because it really impresses me. Because sometimes, you might hear a new artist and you're blown away because it sounds like something that should be on the radio. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. It's like, this should be on the radio right now. And I still get those goosebumps, even as an artist myself. Like, this is a really dope track. So, yeah, man.
That's the beauty of being able to put content out on Spotify and YouTube is, artists like yourself and them, they're not solely reliant on being heard on the radio anymore.
Yeah.
So definitely you've never steered me wrong on music before. Everybody you've ever suggested is amazing.
Yes.
So obviously, check those guys out. Other than that, just kind of in closing, man, I know a lot of stuff going on in the world. Not to absolutely be abrupt and change tempo, but, we talk about entertainment in general. We've talked about what's going on in the world. And I would be remiss since, both of us are very into entertainment. I know you're a little bit of a comic book fan yourself.
Yes.
You know where I'm going with this. What are your thoughts since it's still fresh, and I hate to put on the spot, but obviously it affects both of us obviously in dramatic different ways. What are your thoughts? I saw a little bit on Facebook, but what are your thoughts on the passing of Chadwick Boseman?
It's just, still, it's like it's still very new, but it's still such a loss. And I know as we're speaking about the comic book, it's such a loss for the Marvel franchise, but realizing how many movies he was able to do while he was sick, it's just like, and they're all powerful examples of African-American men. And that's one thing that I can say is there's so many examples of people that have to take roles just because, money's involved. You got to feed your family. And, there's that stereotype of black men and slave roles and things like that. And knowing that he was adamant with his, agent, like, I'm not taking those roles. I only want to play positive examples of black people. And I think now more than ever is like, it speaks volumes, because you can go and watch any of his movies and be proud at what he did. Like, I love him for, of course, the Black Panther, because that was something that was brought to life that, I'll be honest, I never thought I would see.
No,
that.
you can ask any comic book
So
fan, and
like,
you never thought you'd see that.
You never thought you would see that, and for it to do so well, when typically what people are told in the studios is that black characters, black artists, black actors, they don't carry well overseas. They don't sell and all of that thing. And for that stereotype to be broken with that movie, it just opened up doors for, any additional actor to do. So I have to think that he was such a positive lesson in that, to see that you can't judge anything by its cover. You don't know how it's going to do. You have to give people a chance. And I took a lot away from it. And like, it hurt me like any other person that heard about his death. I was floored. I was just like, I'm tired of 2020. It just
needs to be done with.
It needs to be done. This is the longest year ever. So, but yeah, it was like, even after he's passed, it's like, thinking about it, you just have to really show gratitude for what he was able to do. That's really it, man. It's like, it's amazing to think about.
It's, I one of the other things that I talk about, or plan on talking about, or have talked about on podcasts in the past too, is sports. And the thing that, not that I didn't forget, but I saw some different people, speaking about him. And the first time I ever really saw him act was in 42, which is the Jackie Robinson movie. I mean, I wear baseball everything all the time. And a lot of people don't know this, but I mean, Jackie Robinson was a hero of mine growing up, and it's not the same. And there were, there were Jewish baseball players who had to break through barriers and stuff, but obviously, I look white. I get white privilege because how I look, obviously. So it's not as hard in any given environment to be a white man versus being a black man. So I always respected that about Jackie Robinson. And then you heard the Robinson estate talk about how they had to be extremely selective with who they picked to play Jackie. And they just thought Chadwick Boseman, just what he embodied, the kind of person he was, they thought that he could, and accurately show, bring Jackie to life in that story. And they didn't, they gave you kind of an inkling of what Jackie went through, but they didn't shy away from certain things.
No.
And that was the first time, like, I knew that, like, this guy's an amazing actor, because you forgot, like, straight up, you forgot you were watching a movie, and you were like, you thought you were just kind of like, and I'm not trying to oversell it, but you really feel like you're watching a window in this person's life. And that movie was 100% like what endeared me to him. And then I found out what kind of person he was, and kind of just everything that he would do for families, for children. We need more positivity just in general like that in the world, and just kind of tying this back into, how you were speaking about, trying to bring with affirmations and positivity and things like that. So just kind of tying that in together in terms of we just need more of that. So, with the projects and things you're working on, I can't applaud you enough, man. You are one of the best people I know, one of the most creative people I know. So I appreciate you talking with me about everything, taking the time out of your day to do this. And, it's a weird way to catch up, but I'm glad.
I know, right? I know. But no, I greatly appreciate you contacting me about this, because I've been doing a few little things here as well. But no, it just, catching up with you always good, but just talking on this platform is like, no, it's really cool, man. So I appreciate you taking the time, let me come on here and, speak my mind. So no, it's all good, man.
When you got the book ready, myself and everybody else will be looking forward to talking about that next, all right?
That's cool. I got you. Not a doubt. I'll send one to you once it's done, man. Definitely.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
Shamon Dae, everybody.
All right. Peace.
See ya.